Welcome to Draft Thunder. I'm Andrew,
I'm Ben.
and wow, this feels good. This is our first actual video. It feels great, doesn't it, Ben?
It does. It's a little weird, but
It's definitely a little weird, but to actually be able to show ourselves to you guys and show how we actually are, I love it. I think it's
yeah,
great.
I agree.
And yeah, and to actually have the professional look, I think it's huge. So we're gonna break down tonight's slate and Friday's slate. So tonight's just a showdown slate between the Eagles and the Browns. Who do you like?
So we're gonna start at the captain spot. Again, with that showdown, you're looking at the 1.5 times point value. And we talked about Monday when we talked about the Ravens and Colts. When we started tweeting about that, we talked about how big the Ravens' defense at captain spot was, and it turned out pretty well. Uh, these two defenses aren't as big, and it looks like we're going to see a lot of Baker Mayfield again. So I'm looking at Baker to take over that captain spot. The quarterback is typically your most point getter, and if we get about a half out of Baker, like we think we will, him and Tyrod splitting most of the game, looks like Baker's going to see a good bulk of the time and should provide some decent value. Should provide some good points against probably a weaker Philly defense than what we'll see in the regular season. So I'm looking to play Baker in across most of my lines, and then again in most of them I'll probably have him at the captain spot too.
Yeah, he definitely has the upside that we need. It is said that he's going to play half, so we're really hoping that that's true. And
Yeah,
then along with Baker, I think I'm playing Jarvis.
I don't hate that.
So it's that time of year. They're playing a lot of their starters, and like the defense will be playing starters too. Now we can actually start analyzing the defenses and analyzing matchups. The Eagles right now, their defense is mostly solidified, but their slot cornerback is the one who are they having competition for between rookies. Now, this competition means that they're probably going to be playing harder, but they're rookies. They're going to make mistakes. Jarvis can really take advantage here and get a lot of good receptions, a lot of dump offs, but a lot of yards and hopefully produce a lot for us.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he showed everyone knows his talent, and he showed he can make some crazy catches. So yeah, as long and Tyrod, formerly known as Tyrod, seems to really like Jarvis and seems to look his way a lot when he's in trouble. So yeah, I agree with that. Again, going with the Browns here, we are going to throw in a couple Eagles. I think just the way that their rotations work out, it's just a little bit different and a little less clear, just due to the fact that they know who they are, and so they don't need to necessarily play as many big names. So, but
Agreed.
it's very obvious who's taking over the running back role for the Cleveland Browns, and that's Carlos Hyde. I've been on his bandwagon since he first started. No one's ever joined me. It's crazy.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. But we saw in the last week's game how much he really took over that starting job, and how Nick Chubb didn't even come in till later in the game. They used Duke Johnson a little bit, but again, they try to use him at wide receiver even. They don't even want him to run the football. So they're a team that's going to want to run the ball. They want to pound it down your throat, and then that'll open up the passing game. So I think Carlos Hyde would be in a good spot as long as he sees again that first half of action. He should definitely provide a big game.
Yeah, they need him to step up too. They need that number one running back.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Then going across the line over to the Eagles, a few plays that I have is the quarterback situation's a little rough. We don't really know what we're going to expect out of Nick Foles. Not going to see Carson Wentz whatsoever. They said he wasn't going to play his preseason. So Nick Foles is borderline. I don't see him playing more than a half. Like,
Definitely not.
let's just
I
say
don't even see
absolute
it playing
maximum.
more.
Absolute maximum. But
Yeah.
that means on the other side, Sudfeld is guaranteed a half.
Right.
So if you're looking at another quarterback option to play, Sudfeld's probably a really good option here. He came off a really good game last week. I think he had 2 touchdowns. So I would definitely consider playing him. And then for a running back for the Eagles, Jamal Adams. He right now is marked as questionable, but I guess we'll keep you updated on that. He had a full practice on Monday, I think. It was Monday or Tuesday. So he's ready to go. Apparently they want him to step up and be the number 2 running back behind Jay Ajayi. I don't really know what to expect out of the running back situation, but they say he's the guy right now to be stepping up in this preseason game.
Yeah, the only note I would have on Sudfeld is hopefully they don't integrate Hackenberg this week. Maybe they're not going to. I hadn't read anything.
We thought they're
on it.
going to last week.
I know.
Yeah.
But maybe he just didn't have enough time in their system to prepare or something.
Very true.
So I'll try to look into that a little bit when we're done, just to make sure that Hackenberg's not going to see significant time.
One last thing, because I know we're trying to go over this really quick before we step on to Friday's slate. I think our biggest downfall last week for playing the showdown or Monday night was not playing both defenses. Now, I know that we're kind of on the offenses this week, but the problem is the offense haven't been scoring a whole lot. They've scored under 20 in most of their games this preseason. Mm-hmm. So the defenses are going to get you the points. They're probably going to get you somewhere from 6 to possibly 10 plus. You never know if they score a touchdown. I would play both no matter what in a showdown. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting in that scenario. The only thing is, like, you know, 2 of the showdowns that we played involved the Ravens and, you know, their rather good defense. And the one they played against the Bears in the first game. So, you know, the trend might be a little swayed just because of the better defenses and going up against, you know, maybe lower tier offenses. But I definitely agree here, especially with Philly, you know, not knowing too much what they're going to do at quarterback and things of that nature.
Yeah. But I mean, even the Colts got a lot of points, you know?
They did, yeah.
So,
because it gets sloppy. It gets sloppy towards
does.
the end of the game.
And this will be more starters, so I guess it will be less sloppy. But they're still not showing all their cards on offense. Not going to have the best plays.
Definitely not. Just one last guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep throwing him at you guys. Rashard Higgins. We're still not seeing Josh Gordon. I know he's back in the facility this week. Still not going to see him in real game action. He's not ready.
Nope.
Again, it's between him and Callaway for that third receiver role. And Higgins he's been looking like he's running more with the first team. It's kind of split, but he just kind of stepped up in this preseason to me. He's looked really good. A couple years ago, he kind of burst on the scene as a rookie, and then he took it. He didn't burst on the scene as a rookie. He took a little step forward last year.
Yeah.
And he's looking to make a big jump in his third year, which a lot of guys tend to do. So I'm looking at him to kind of step up and hopefully run with the ones a little bit, leak into Baker's time, and hopefully they'll look his way some.
Yeah. And speaking of Callaway, I know that I saw there was more news on his whole, like, problem with the law. Yeah. So they might want to put Higgins in more to see what he's got with the first string because they know that he's not in trouble and that he might not face a suspension or something like that or get arrested. Who knows?
Right.
So I like Higgins here too. Definitely.
I like Higgins.
Yeah. All right. So we can move on to Friday's slate. Yeah, that's all I have to for tonight. But those are a lot of good plays. Consider all of them. Definitely. So moving on, who are the quarterbacks that you like for the Friday slate?
So again, we're recording this on Thursday, so we're about 30 hours away from lock time.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just going to preface this with saying we don't know exactly how much some of the teams are going to use their guys.
Yep.
We have some coach speak, we have some hints, we have a lot of different information that points us in the right direction. But up until lock time, we really don't know what it's going to look like to 100% accuracy.
Yeah.
So the way it's looking is that the Lions are going to play their starters for at least the first half, and that puts me on Matthew Stafford. He was I believe he only threw 5 passes I believe last week. He only went 2 for 5, but it went for 51 yards. Not too much to say about him, just the fact that he takes a lot of crap, but he is more or less a top 10 quarterback, at least in my eyes.
Fantasy wise, definitely.
Yeah. He's got some weapons this year. Most definitely. Going up against Tampa Bay, their defense is iffy. That whole team is iffy.
It's definitely one of the most favorable matchups on the slate.
Yeah. It looks to be that Detroit's offensive line, it's starting to come together. So hopefully they can block the edge rushers for Tampa Bay. The back end of Tampa Bay in their secondary is just rough.
Yep.
So I'm looking at Matthew Stafford, even if he doesn't have that dual threat ability, which we really like to see in preseason, to hopefully spread the ball around, throw it a bunch in the first half, and then come out unscathed. And you'll be looking at hopefully maybe a $150 and a touchdown or two to start off with your quarterback. So that putting you at 12 to 15 points, that's kind of what you're looking for. And I think Stafford's that guy as long as he gets the first half of action.
Yeah, make sure you follow us. As you can see, our Twitter link below. Stafford, I think if he does play the full half, his floor is going to be very high, again, against this defense, and his upside is going to be huge. So he's definitely a great play. Another guy that I'm looking at would be Cam Newton. So how much playing time they say he's going to play? Probably around like a half.
It looks like a half, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, a few series into the second half. Yeah. So New England's defense,
people love them for some reason.
People do. I've never gotten it.
Neither have I.
They started off very slow last season. They were a defense to play against, but then they ended up stepping it up and eventually making it to the dang Super Bowl. But I don't think they're a top-tier defense. I think this isn't an awful matchup for Cam. Now, we talked a little bit about their offensive line, how they only really have 3 starting offensive linemen. That could be something dangerous. Maybe Cam gets a little bit of pressure. That could also lead to rushing yards. You never know.
Yeah.
When he scrambles out of the pocket. But
that's true.
It's something to consider. And does New England really have any pass rushers? I feel like they're not too high.
Kyle Van Noy is okay.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not the worst. It's not the worst scenario. It's not like he's playing somebody ridiculous like the Vikings. But with all of that playing time, I think that he offers a high upside and probably a decent floor.
Yeah, I would agree on Cam. Definitely a decent matchup here. Just, again, with their 3 starting offensive linemen out, if he were to start seeing a lot of pressure, they might pull him early.
He just might not play the third quarter, in my opinion. He probably gets a half.
I would think he gets at least a half. Hopefully he's a little bit more accurate than he was last week. He was shaky last week.
Yeah.
But that's just rust, we think.
That's a preseason 4.
Yeah. Exactly. He should be kind of amped up. I know it's preseason, but you're playing the Patriots, you're always gonna be a little bit more amped up.
Definitely.
Another guy I want to talk about here. I don't love him. I really don't. I don't think he's a very good quarterback.
Quarterback slates are not great this week.
Yeah, but it's gonna be Case Keenum. Yeah. I know what he did with the Vikings, and I know everyone fell in love with him, but man, I don't think he's a very good quarterback. I think that was all system related. So going over to Denver, I think that's just a cancer of a quarterback situation. It has been since Peyton left. So even with Emmanuel and Demarius, and who knows how much they'll play even this week. So, it sounds like the starters are going to get a half again. I believe Vance Joseph said that they're not counting snaps necessarily, but they want to see some progress throughout the game with their starters. So it sounds like at least a half for Case Keenum. Against an okay Washington defense, I know that Josh Norman is there and should probably see a big bulk of that time against Case. But we're looking at volume. We're looking at a guy that, maybe they want to get going a little bit, so maybe they do some short checkdowns, get the ball out of his hand quickly, similar to what we saw with Andrew Luck after the first couple drives when he really got going.
Yep.
In no way am I saying Case Keenum is Andrew Luck, but I would think they want to get him rolling a little bit, get him some chemistry with his receivers. So if you're looking for a guy that maybe some people might not be on, or just a big volume play where you don't think Simeon's going to cut into his time because he just can't throw the ball. So I would think Case is going to get at least a half, maybe a little bit more than that, and should have a decent game.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. There's a bunch of holes in that Redskins defense, in my opinion. They got Norman, they got Swearinger, both really good defensive guys, but then who else?
Right.
I like that play. And then on the other side of the ball, there is Alex Smith. He's just a guy to maybe consider. I like all of the other plays more than him. Now, there's a bunch of quarterbacks I also don't like opposed to him, so he's about the middle of the pack for me. He just could end up doing well, but the problem is the Broncos defense is good.
Their pass rush anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
exactly.
see what they do without Talib, but
Alex Smith should get the volume that we want. He should get about a half, if not a little bit more. So he's just somebody to also consider. Now, just to let you know, some people that you should not play are Aaron Rodgers. Don't fall for that fool's gold. He is probably not going to be playing at all.
yeah, he won't see very much. They're not going to put him in any harm's way.
Yeah, and then another one is Derek Carr probably. Let's keep with us on news because if he does end up getting half, we would want to play him. But as of now, John Gruden says that he'll probably be playing a quarter to a quarter in a few series. So I'd stay away from him too.
Yeah, he was honestly the first guy I wrote down before I looked at news. So I actually really like Derek Carr. It's just he's not going to get enough the volume that everybody else is going to get. But if that tweaks or it increases a little bit, or you want to maybe just throw a dart and say you don't believe John Gruden, I don't know. I do like Derek Carr's matchup, and so another one that I just want to talk about is everyone's gonna look at last week and see that Tom Brady threw the ball 26 times. It sounds like they used Game 2 as their Game 3. Game 3 is typically whatever every team uses as their dress rehearsal game. Sounds like the Patriots did that in Game 2. I don't think Tom's going to play a ton again. I didn't think he was going to do it last week, though. So we haven't heard a ton of news on the Patriots. So if we find out, Tom Brady's going to play a whole half or whatever, yeah, I would consider Tom Brady. But it just seems like they used that Game 2 instead of the Game 3, and maybe it's just to get Tom his legs and just get him an extra week's rest after playing more than he has been all season. So it sounds like you're not going to see too much of him this week. But again, if we find out close to lock time that Tom Brady's playing a whole half of that game, he's definitely one to consider.
Yeah, I completely agree. So moving on to running backs. Is that all you have for quarterbacks? All good?
Yeah, that's it from me.
All right. And there's also situations to follow, like the Jets situation. We find out more about that. Giants, maybe if Eli plays more. But again, follow us on Twitter. We'll keep you posted on that. So my top running backs, I guess it's between Christian McCaffrey and Rob Kelly. So Christian McCaffrey, we saw what he had last week. He had a great breakaway run. I expect him to get the same amount of workload, and he's gonna he's gonna get more actually, but hopefully the same production. He's gonna get a lot of receptions like he always does, and hopefully breaks out another run. I mean, that'd be nice. That would be absolutely awesome. But he offers the upside too, and the safe floor that we need to cash in our double ups.
Absolutely.
He's pretty self-explanatory. But then moving on to Rob Kelly, that running back situation is a mess. They literally have nobody right now. A lot of people are hurt. Chris Thompson's hurt. Marshall's hurt. P. Ryan's hurt. So it's literally Rob Kelly, Bibbs, and Adrian Pearson now. And what'd you say about Adrian Pearson again?
It sounds like, according to Jay Gruden, not to be confused with John Gruden, Jay Gruden is looking at about 8 carries for Adrian Peterson to get his legs under him. I don't expect anything out of Adrian Peterson.
No.
Hasn't happened in 2 years.
I wouldn't trust 8 carries.
I wouldn't trust 8 carries either. I could see those 8 carries going for a total of 20 yards, and that's it. So, yeah. I think those will come with the first team, though. Yeah. I do think they're going to be early.
Yeah.
So
I think it'll be him and Rob Kelly mixing together, and then Rob Kelly gets some extensive work along the game, and then Bibbs gets a little work at the end. So I really expect to see a lot of Rob Kelly here. That's more about volume than his skill. Definitely. But you never know what you're going to get out of him.
That's any Redskins running back ever.
Exactly. So. Hopefully they get near the goal line. He just punches one in, gets us that touchdown, gets a few receptions along the way.
He would have to get pushed into the end zone by the offensive line, but it could happen.
Somebody will literally pick him up and drag him in. Actually, you couldn't probably pick him up. I don't know about all that, but...
no, I don't think anyone's picking him up. No.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, I agree on the McCaffrey play. And Rob Kelly is going to see a lot of volume. He should anyway. So I agree with that. My top running back, it's going to sound like a broken record, but it's fine. It's going to be Wayne Gallman. One of the guys from last week, he provided a really nice game for us. And it's a very similar situation. You're not going to see Saquon. He just started doing 7-on-7.
They said maybe a little bit.
Okay, I read he just started doing 7-on-7 individual drills. He hasn't even padded up in practice, and that was just
Okay.
Tuesday
Okay. Yeah.
that he hadn't padded up at all.
Even
So
if he does play a little bit, even if he
right,
somehow does.
right.
Yeah.
Jonathan Stewart doesn't need work in the preseason. He just is. He's an old. They know what kind of running back he is. He's an older running back, veteran guy. They know what they have. He's probably going to be their number 2. Just like mix it up with Saquon.
Yeah.
But they really do like Wayne Gallman. We heard about it last year and it never really materialized. But they really do like him, and he showed it last week. He has skill and he can catch the ball in the backfield. He ran one in, or no, he called a pass for a touchdown, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
So he got in the end zone. He had a pretty good yard per carry actually. So I would expect him to see a lot of the run of the play with the ones as they play their starters more. Can't imagine they're going to give Jonathan Stewart more than 6 or 7 carries here. So looking at that, if you kind of add that up and maybe you see Wayne Gallman for 10 to 12 carries plus another 5 touches maybe on the catches. If he gets 15 to 17 touches in this game, I really like that. And with 5 of them being catches, I really would think that he would have another really nice game. Again, one of those guys with a solid floor and some pretty decent upside. So, we're repeating the play again from last week, but I think it's a good spot.
I definitely agree. Yeah, he'll be got to look at. We're going to move on to receivers later, but I think my strategy for this week is going to be doing 2 running backs in a flex with the running back as a flex because I really like the options. Another guy that I like is Chris Warren. So we saw a lot out of him this week. He looked really good in my opinion as a number 3 running back, which he's going to be definitely.
Yeah.
So John Gruden also, when he said the thing about Derek Carr and the starters, he said not much playing time is going to be needed for Marshawn Lynch because they already know they have him. They said Doug Martin. They literally said Doug Martin should not be playing much at all because I guess they know what they like out of him. I don't know.
They really do like him. He's had a good camp.
Okay, that must be why. And they feel no need. He's been a starter before. They know they have him, and they probably like what they see in Chris Warren and want to see if he can keep doing it. So Chris Warren's definitely going to get an extensive amount of time here. I assume he's going to come in late in the second quarter and then play late into the third quarter, fourth quarter. So I expect to see a lot of him. He looked like a great pass catcher. He was really doing it all. He was getting the goal line carries. So he's a really good play in my opinion.
Yeah, I would agree. Just saying. A lot of people that you play against here are going to be just playing it like a regular season game and just playing a bunch of starters. So these guys that maybe aren't starters and leak into the second half and play a lot of the second half could provide huge upside and at a low ownership. So yeah, I would definitely agree with that play. Yeah. Moving on for me here, I think Andrew's going to laugh at it.
Oh God,
it's fine. Well, you're going to laugh at like the next 3 running backs I bring up, so it's fine.
3.
Yeah, it's ugly, but I like it. CJ Procise. So, they're playing Minnesota. We don't like that.
No.
It's fine. But J.D. McKissick is out for 4 to 6 weeks. Rashad Penny is out till the regular season.
Yeah.
Chris Carson's going to be the starting running back this week with Procise mixed in. Procise actually has talent. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. He's really, really good at that. And I would think, with all their running back injuries, you're going to see Chris Carson, Mike Davis, and CJ Procise, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So 3 running backs to split the entire game. I hate that they play the Vikings this week. We'll talk about defenses later, but I'm going to use a lot of the Vikings defense because, we'll talk about them later. But they're just a really good defense. They're really solid. And so I don't love the matchup at all, but I think Procise should get enough volume to provide you what you need. And hopefully he catches, if he doesn't even run the ball, hopefully he catches maybe 6 to 8 passes because Russell Wilson freaks out because Everson Griffin is running after him and just dumps it off to him. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for that play. He should, like I said, he should see a big bulk of the time, should run with the ones a little bit and see a decent volume here. So I believe he was actually their best running back last week too. So I think he's the best option here.
Yeah, I like that play. That's not bad at all. And he might be seeing the later Vikings defense, so like maybe not the first strings.
Right. Most definitely.
Did you say you had other running back plays? Because I'm all done with
Oh,
running backs.
oh, you're out. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Okay, just for transparency, last week Preseason only rushed the ball 3 times, but he caught 6 passes. So that's what we're looking at, the big pass catching volume.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. So next, we're gonna talk about Ronald Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at him.
Yeah. So he's been horrible, like absolutely atrocious. 12 carries for 11 yards throughout the first 2 preseason games.
Yeah.
It's been really, really bad. They coming into camp, it seemed like he was going to be the starting running back. And what I've read lately is Peyton Barber has run away with the job, and it's not close.
Mm-hmm.
However, because of that, I think they're going to use Ronald Jones a lot. They know what Peyton Barber is. They've had him for a couple years now. They need to see if Ronald Jones is actually a good running back. There's no reason for Peyton Barber to play that much in this game, especially if they think that he's gonna be the starter.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to do a committee. Maybe they really liked Ronald Jones coming into the season, and they want to see that materialize. So I think he's going to get double-digit carries this week, and I think it's going to be a force feed situation where they just give him the ball until he throws up. So,
They
I
use
think
a second round pick on him.
Exactly. They need to see it. Like camp is camp. You know, they need to see it in real game scenario. And he knows too that he's got to step up. You know, Peyton Barber has actually shown himself to be really good this preseason. So I think Ronald Jones here just out of a volume play and maybe a motivation play. Detroit's running defense is okay. It's nothing special. So I think maybe there's some holes that could open up. Hopefully they just give him the ball and he, finally starts doing something with it. So Ronald Jones out of a volume play if you're looking for someone that's going to get a lot of carries here. And hopefully, his talent, he must have talent, right, if they used a second-round pick on him. Then again, we're talking about the same team that used a second-round pick on Roberto Aguayo. So, that's just that front office.
Yeah.
What do you want to say anything about?
No, just I think that he does offer a pretty good upside. I don't know if he's as safe of a pick as the other picks. So maybe
Definitely
somebody
not.
you want to play in a GPP?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Last guy I have is going to be Devontae Booker. So looking at that running back situation,
Yikes.
it's him and Royce Freeman to split the time as starters. They want Royce Freeman to be the guy, it seems like, but Booker's not going away. After that, it's a bunch of guys I don't really know anything about. So again, this is more of a talent play. He's not going to see a ton of volume because he's going to be splitting that first team reps with Royce Freeman, and they're probably going to want to see Freeman a little bit more just because they have seen Booker. So even Freeman would be a decent play.
Yeah, I like Freeman.
I just think Booker is a better talent of the two. That might be an unpopular opinion at this point.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, that's fair. But just going back to last week, Freeman got 6 carries, Booker got 4. They both had 1 catch, and Booker outgained him in 2 less touches. So I would expect them to both see somewhere between, I don't know, what do you think, 9 to 12 touches each this week?
Yeah, it sounds pretty good for me.
And I think Booker's just a better talent. Hopefully he breaks one off or catches a couple passes. So, again, more of a GPP play, not one of the guys you're probably going to be using in cash. I just threw him in there just as a last kind of guy to consider.
I probably like him more as a receiving back than Freeman, to be honest. Yeah. And then if you think about Keenum, he kind of liked doing little dump offs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see him getting a lot of catches this game. Maybe 4 or 5, which would be huge alone.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so we are taking a while on this. So
I know.
We need to start moving through stuff. Let's move on to receiver. A few guys that I like. There's not a whole lot of options, like I said. What I'm really looking at here,
ugly.
It is ugly.
Really ugly.
Oh, I don't want to play any Seahawks. I don't want to. Well, they're going to get a lot of time. I like Jerron Brown.
Oh.
So the problem that I see is the Vikings. Then the Vikings are pretty shut down. But if you are the number 1 receiver on the team technically right now, which he is.
That's disgusting.
I know. But he came off a really good game last week. And he's only going to get more time this week. I see him getting maybe 4 catches for like 50 yards, something like that.
Okay.
He has the volume, in my opinion, that we need. Again, I don't think the Vikings defense is going to play this as much as the Seahawks offense. So I think they will get time against the twos, and they will have time to actually be able to do something on offense.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah,
They might not move the ball at all.
We'll definitely see. It could be all Russell Wilson. So
it could just be a bunch of sacks.
But I like him for the volume. And
I agree. His volume is pretty good.
He's got the breakaway speed. He can score a touchdown. You never know.
I don't even know where to start with my guys. I'll just start what I wrote down first. Laquan Treadwell on the other side of that game.
God, I'm so sorry for tweeting him. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
No.
Last week.
But he's always on the field. He's always on the field.
Literally always on the field. And they drafted him high. He was good in college. I'll give him that much. At Ole Miss, he was good. He's got size. He's got talent. And Seahawks defense, right? Amazing, right? No, not anymore. They're just a mess this year. I've talked, I think, a couple times about how much I just think they're gonna have a horrible season. So nobody wants to be there. I mean, they got rid of a bunch of guys. I just think it's a bad situation. And Treadwell here, should see a bunch of time again. So I think, the volume again, and he's got talent against a decent secondary at best now with a bunch of the guys they lost. I see Treadwell having a nice game here. Just thinking Diggs and Thielen are locked in, so maybe they don't see a ton of the time. So
a thing though, if for some reason Thielen does see a lot of time, I love Thielen. I love the slot play this week against the Seahawks. Seahawks suck against the slot. So if you see news on Thielen, like news on the Stars playing a whole half or something, play Thielen.
Yeah. They might be moving Diggs to slot though.
Oh, well.
That's just something to watch. They've been splitting time in the slot. They might be. I'll have to check on that.
Yeah, we'll tweet out if we see something like that happening. But I like Treadwell a lot. I do.
It's just ugly at wide receiver this week. So
it is.
We're sorry.
It is. So let's just keep it going. Chris Godwin.
I have him too.
There we go. Look at us actually matching up on something. So he's been getting reps with Fitz and Winston. So he's really getting reps with everyone, and he's not their starting guys. Their starting guys are probably Mike Evans and Humphreys, probably. I'd say Humphreys over him.
Goodwin is looking to break in there, though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So he should get a lot of time in this preseason game because he's that borderline starter that we're definitely looking at who will get reps with both teams. So, and another thing is talking about the slot. I love playing the slot guys. He's the slot guy. And the Lions are pretty weak against it. What did I see? They were ranked somewhere in the 20s, late 20s, and against the middle of the field, and he will be seeing a lot of his routes are in the middle of the field. It's where he gets a lot of success about those 20 to 30 yard catches. And I think that this is a huge opportunity for him to score a lot of points.
I'm totally in on Godwin. I'll be using him a lot.
Good.
Yeah. They are raving about him this all season. They really like him. Something I totally forgot to mention in quarterbacks. I'll talk really fast here. Jameis, we don't know his playing time situation, but I really like that play if he sees a half of football. If you see that Jameis is going to start and play a bunch, he played a whole quarter last week and threw for over 200 yards. That's enormous production. I don't consider that's going to happen again. But if Jameis is going to start and play the whole half, he's listed as out on Draftkings. People might not look further into that. They might just blow by him. If he's going to play a whole half, I really like Jameis Winston this week. That's all. Moving on to receivers again. Next one. I drafted this guy in my season-long league last year, and I immediately dropped him. But he's actually got some really good talent. Kenny Galladay. So, if you've been looking at the news, the base receiver set for Lions is 3 wide receivers. However, Kenny Galladay has actually seen more snaps this preseason with the starters than Golden Tate.
Yep.
So take that for whatever you will. They really like Kenny Galladay to be in their 3 receiver sets and be on the outside, opposite Marvin and Golden. and even over Golden. It seems like. So I really like him here. Like we talked about with Stafford, it's a decent matchup. So I really like if you want to go that route and you see that they're going to play a whole half. If you want to stack Stafford with Galladay, I think that's a really good move this week. I think Galladay should see a lot of volume and should see some catches. See some targets his way. He's got size. He's a good receiver. He had a couple decent games last year. I think one game he caught 2 or 3 touchdowns actually. So I like him a lot this week.
Yeah. So, and Altron Werner is their number 1 cornerback. He's like, in my opinion, the only good guy on their defense, really. Well, good guy in their for defensive backs, not in their defense. Joe McCoy is awesome. But anyway, he won't be seeing him. Marvin Jones will probably be seeing Werner. So that should open up Galladay even more.
Yeah. And the Lions haven't had a sack all preseason. Sorry, that was on the wrong side of the ball. I don't know why I just said that. I was just thinking about the Lions. Hey, don't play their defense. All right, there we go.
There you go. But maybe consider them.
But all right, we're rolling. Here we go.
All right. Well, I'm
sorry,
all
I got distracted by PGA. My bad.
Good.
I have Sterling Shepard written down, but I don't even know about it. If they play a whole half, I like him. You're not going to see Odell, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like we said, receivers are kind of ugly this week. I'd look more for the running back at flex, but
yeah, I agree.
That's all I have.
Patrick Cantlay with an eagle. Let's go. All right,
nice.
Sorry. Tight ends.
I didn't play him.
Woo, tight ends.
Yeah, not our topic, but
let's see. Are we gonna match? Probably not.
Cam Brate.
I like him. I didn't write him down, but I like him.
Okay. I like Cam Brate. He has been he's been working with both quarterbacks, I think. I know he's hooked up with James a few times. Yeah, he's been working with both teams.
Yeah.
And he'll probably get like half playing time if I could assume, no matter what the quarterback situation is.
Right.
So the Lions, with that thing about the middle of the field against the slot, that usually transpires to the tight end too, and it does in this situation. That's where I said the 20-some rank, because they're ranked 26th against tight end. So this could be a huge opportunity for Cam Brate. When I'm saying these rankings, the problem is it is off 2017 season. We don't know a whole lot about this season. You'll see that as the beginning of the year starts up. It's more of a guessing game, but it's using the same stats. Most teams like to keep their players. So unless they see a crazy change, yeah. But I like Cam Brate a lot.
I do too. I mean, the obvious issue here is O.J. Howard.
Yeah, but what has O.J. Howard done, really?
I mean, they had the same production last week.
Oh, okay.
They did. They both caught 2 passes.
Okay.
But Cameron Brate's their starter, so he should see more of the playing time. I like that play. My guy for the week, Clive Walford.
Boom! My other guy's Clive Walford. Yeah.
Let's go. Probably not a good thing.
Probably not. You probably want to go against Clive Walford this week. No. But actually,
no, we love Clive. I love Clive Walford.
I do too.
Honestly, he's the only tight end I wrote down.
Oh, good. So we're out tight ends after this, just to let you know.
2 tight ends. We're really locked in this week. Let's go. Clive Walford. All right. He was with the Raiders. He was okay. They always had a new tight end. They didn't use tight ends that much. But over with the Jets now, we are looking at a good quarterback situation. You're going to see Sam Darnold and Teddy Bridgewater for the whole game for the most part. You probably won't see a ton of McCown, if at all.
No.
So you're going to see good quarterbacks. Darnold is going to be looking for somebody to throw the ball to when he can't find anybody open.
Was that shot at McCown? Watch your tone.
Whoa, not at all.
Okay.
I'm just speaking facts.
I'm sorry.
That he didn't play at all last week.
You're right.
I'm sorry.
You're right.
Yeah, no. It seems like Darnold's going to start again. That's up in the air, though. That's why we didn't talk about the Jets quarterbacks.
Yeah.
We don't know who's starting yet. Teddy looks good, though. But that's beside the point. Clive last week, 2 for 25. So iffy, not bad, but, he didn't see a ton of time. There's not really another tight end in that tight end room. Eric Tomlinson is more of a blocking tight end. He's okay. Clive Walford's the guy you want. He's going to be their guy going forward, and he should see a big bulk of time this week, playing with decent quarterbacks and guys that are going to be looking to go hot, most likely throw hot routes against the Giants pass rush. They're going to need someone to be open right in front of them. because the Jets don't have a ton of receivers that can get open themselves. Robbie Anderson is decent. Anunwa is decent. So yeah, I think Clive Walford's going to see a lot of time. Should see some targets his way, and maybe even be a guy in the red zone. He's a big guy, so hopefully he falls into the end zone here.
Yeah, I completely agree. And same thing with the Lions. The Giants are also somebody to target against the middle of the field tight ends. So with him getting first team reps and working with both quarterbacks a little bit, if they both play the whole game, I expect to see him most of the entire game, probably 3 quarters. I really hope so. He'll definitely get a half.
Yeah.
And he'll definitely be on the field. Our guys are always on the field.
He'll be on the field.
Yeah.
Go Sprinkle. All right.
Don't
do him this week.
No.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
But they're playing the Broncos.
I don't care. I'm not doing it.
All right. We're not telling you to play the Redskins tight ends, but the Broncos are awful against tight ends. So
the Redskins.
Don't be surprised. Oh, no. Don't be surprised.
I'm not playing Newman or whatever his name is.
No.
All right.
No.
We're going to talk about these guys who are not playing and they're going to go off. So
yeah.
Take it for whatever you want.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
We're going way off the rails here. Oh, my God.
Last thing. We need to finish this up. Defense. Defense. We got one for you, and that's the Vikings. We've already talked about a bunch.
The Seahawks have nobody on their offensive line. These guys are going to have a field day in the backfield.
Yep.
I don't care how much of a magician. Wow, that was hard.
That was rough.
Russell Wilson is.
Yeah.
I just don't. They're going to be in the backfield all day. And that might cause some panic throws. It's going to cause some, hopefully, interceptions, maybe a pick 6. I love the Vikings defense. The rich got richer this week. They got George Iloka. Why the Bengals cut him, I have no idea.
Oh, my God. That's literally all they needed. A strong.
So there you go. And he's probably going to be on the field this week. So awesome. They're going to be in the backfield sacking Russell Wilson, we think.
They're fast, too. Their ends are fast.
Yeah. They're filthy. Yeah. I'm just going to do a quick search for another defense I might like. I don't even know.
Maybe the Packers-Raiders game. I feel it's going to be low scoring,
with
not playing starters.
Yeah, I could go there. If Rodgers doesn't play, I do kind of like Kaiser, just as an off note. But
yeah.
Another one, Denver. Denver has a good defense.
Maybe.
I mean, I know we talk about Alex Smith. I don't like Alex Smith very much, but that's just a personal bias.
No, that's just a volume thing. I told you that matchup's not great for Alex Smith.
Yeah, so I kind of like Denver if you didn't want to play Minnesota.
Yeah.
I like playing Minnesota. I'm going to be like almost 100% owned on Minnesota's D.
Agreed. That worked out with us our week,
Yeah.
We've been pretty good with defenses, honestly. Like, we usually pick one and it's usually good. Not saying to definitely 100% go with them, but it should work out for you.
Yeah, it should be a good spot here.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we will be playing the other slates on the weekend. I think Saturday it's in our similar state. I think we're on 7 games. 1 game Thursday. 1 game Thursday, 6 games, 7. And then 2 Sunday, yeah.
Okay.
So
that'll be interesting.
We're not going to do another podcast for those just because, we got other stuff for to do this week. But we're still going to be doing our research. And we're going to be tweeting out our picks, probably. Definitely Saturday and then a few Sunday.
Yeah, we're recording live from our parents' basement at the moment, but
yes,
in about a week, we're moving in together with a bunch of friends, and so we'll actually be me and Andrew will be spending way more time together, and that usually leads to way more fantasy football research.
Yes,
which is probably a problem, but it's fine.
It kind of consumes our lives, but hey,
especially with school starting. But hey, we love what we do. It's a lot of fun for us. So
yes,
and with week 1 coming up, we are already starting to research week 1, which is a problem.
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
I'm excited.
I'm giddy about college football starting in 2 days. Oh, by the way, I can't play it because we're in Maryland, but DraftKings just added back college football. If you can play college football, do it. It's a lot of fun. It's weird because there's so many games and you're usually not playing the guys that you even know who they are. But Maryland outlawed college football for DraftKings. It's fine. I'm not mad about it. But they just re-added it. So if you're looking for some college action, there you go.
Yeah. Well, I think that's all we have.
Yeah, we went off the rails a bit.
Yeah, sorry that this went so long and sorry it was such a mess. But I hope that you had fun watching. I had fun, actually.
I had some fun, too.
Yeah, this is a great time. All right. Well, until next week, I'm Andrew.
I'm Ben.
Thank you for joining us.